The terrorist in Nice was a Tunisian national, a 21-year-old immigrant who had arrived in France just a few days ago. The beheading in Paris was carried out by a Chechen refugee, someone who had lived in France for 12 years. Two attacks by two refugees will revive the old debate around immigrants. Are refugees leading to more radicalism and crime? The crackdown against extremism could lead to walls on the borders too. Our next report has more.
Two terror attacks in 2 weeks, 2 beheadings, 4 murders. The recent wave of terrorism in France follows a pattern. The terrorists involved in both the attacks used knives to target the victims. The attacks happened in broad daylight and in public spaces. And both the terrorists were refugees. The killer of Samuel Paty was Abdullah Anzarov, an 18-year-old who had arrived in France with his Chechen parents when he was 6. His family had been granted asylum. They had a residence permit until 2030. In September, Abdullah Anzarov established contact with a Russian-speaking jihadist in Syria. In October, he killed a French schoolteacher. Immediately after the killing, an audio message was released. It was a message from the terrorist. He said that by killing Paty, he had avenged the Prophet. This man lived in France for 12 years, but clearly failed to imbibe its values and refused to accept its secular culture. Then we have the Nice attack, again involving a refugee, a man who showed similar disregard for French secularism. He was 21 years old. He had arrived in Europe only a month ago. The terrorist was carrying a copy of the Quran when he went to the Notre Dame Basilica. He killed 3 people in the church, injured several others.
There are no doubts on the motivations and the determination of the perpetrator, who was constantly repeating Allahu Akbar while he was being medically treated. Also, one of the 3 victims was the keeper of the church, increasing the emotions here.
The terror attacks have led to a crackdown on radicals in France. They might also trigger a rethink on refugees. They may shape the future of France's immigration policy. So far, critics saw refugees as usurpers of jobs and amenities, unwanted encroachers. Now, if refugees are seen as the link with terrorism, the sentiment against them will grow stronger. The issue of refugees has been central to European politics. Far-right leader Marine Le Pen has blamed African immigrants for crime in France. Her party has called them a threat to French civilization. President Emmanuel Macron himself took a tougher line in 2019 when he said that his country cannot host everyone. Later in November, he announced new measures on immigration. France is on high alert. It may have to reconsider its policy of open borders. The Paris terror attack in 2015 had led to calls for shutting doors to refugees. The 2020 beheadings involving refugees may reignite the debate. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Thank you for watching Gravitas on WION's YouTube channel. If you want to stay up to date with what's happening around the world, then subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like and share. Thank you very much for watching WION World is One.